You are the unknown. And this is why it is said that we have to embrace the unknown, because ultimately, if you're going to have the aligned reality that you resonate with, that you seek, that you desire, you would have to embrace yourself. And people always talk about alignment, but they don't know what they're aligning to, because they don't actually know themselves. When you ask yourself, who am I or what am I? There won't be an answer coming back to you. Who you are and what you are is always unknown, but you will discover through your lifetime what you resonate with. Things that feel like you, but aren't actually are you in a known sense. I want you to let that land. You are not anything that is known, which means if you like pizza, you're not pizza. You're in resonance with pizza. But you are you, and pizza is called pizza. And while you both share different names and different identities, you are both the same. You reflect one another. Let that land for a second. You and the pizza are the same, but you just have different identities. And the thing that makes you align is resonance. So when you look back, when you incarnated, you looked around at your reality, you really didn't know what was going on. Everything was being revealed to you because you were constantly living in a state of not knowing. That's why you have to be really comfortable in the unknown. Not knowing what to do or not having a plan is neutrality. Stop believing people who say you need to have a plan. If you were to have any plan, the only plan you could ever have is to trust the unknown, to trust yourself. That is trusting the unknown, because unknown is what you are. What you are is never an identification. You discover what you resonate with through identifications, but none of those identifications embody or encompass what you are. Everything that you are as God is only taking on the costume of identity so that you can have an experience with yourself. So you do not attach to identity. You only observe for resonance. Because if you notice everything that you like, it all comes through resonance. Ooh, that food feels like me, that outfit feels like me, or that friend feels like me. Resonance sometimes can be very hard to describe, which is also another way of experiencing the unknown. It's harder to put into words, but that person is me. Yes, I feel them. I resonate with them. Those things that you just get, but you can't explain, that's the unknown. That's neutrality. That's resonance. That's you. Alignment is actually unknown. Unknown. Get very comfortable with not knowing what's next. Get very comfortable with not knowing what's going on right now. Your ability to be comfortable in the unknown right now is a superpower. It is a strong discipline. And even though it's really not supposed to be a skill because it's you being yourself, it is a skill to stay in yourself and not constantly be tempted into doing what identification is tempting you to do. And I want you to let that land. Anything that is known is potentially a temptation for you to get entangled in identification. This is why you must be very observant about what each identification is presenting, because each identification is a frequency. If it doesn't feel like you, or if it's confusing, do not get entangled, aka do not engage, aka do not answer. Because what is for you produces a natural curiosity and a natural action and effort towards something without you even needing to understand why you're doing something. A lot of times you make choices without realizing that you're making choices because you are so aligned to specific experiences. The resonance is so strong that you just do these things without needing to discern. But for everything else in your reality, look at these identifications for what they are, come to terms with what they are representing, and stay in yourself at all times before deciding to move from an identification or towards an identification. You should not be living from constant identifications at all. Your natural default state is the unknown. It is observation. It is neutrality. Let that land. Marinate in that. And I want you to observe this right now. I'm still here with you. We're still observing. Whatever it is that you're observing, whether it's sensation, whether it's a thought, whether it's just a perception of reality that seems to be filtering how you see things, whether it seems to be clear or not, these are just appearances. You are not what you see. You are not what you perceive. This is why it's very important not to fix them. Stay neutral. Continue to observe. Notice what things change. Sometimes the changes may be thoughts that come to you in the form of your desires. Like, oh, I would really like this, or really like to see things this way. And that comes in as a thought, which is also an affirmation. And you can focus on those affirmations. And because you're focusing on those affirmations, it puts your energy, attention, and focus over there, which then perpetuates those desired resonant thoughts. And that's how robotic affirming works. But always be observant. If you are mentally efforting, or if you are mentally identifying, it should only be with what you resonate with. And then as you are identifying with what you resonate with, you're observing other changes in the reality, being mindful to not come out of your resonance or aligned identification for those things. I don't care what it looks like. Things need no response. And if for some reason your brain has a tendency to respond, let it only be the response of, I'm still neutral. That is it. That's enough. Oh, I'm just reminded that I'm still neutral and that life is constantly bringing me what I want through my desired thoughts, through my desired affirmations, through my desired and aligned identifications, and everything else is neutrality. Because that's actually the truth of reality. Anything that you see, regardless of how it seems, regardless of the form, its true nature is actually neutral. Which is important why you don't believe the filters that you seem to see through. Because the temptation is, will you just shout out this filter one more time? Will you just call it like you see it just one more time? No, I'm not doing that anymore. Because I know that this projection of reality is actually neutral. So I'm calling it as it actually is, which is the truth. The true nature of reality is neutral. All circumstances are neutral. And now that I'm mentally aware of the things that I resonate with, I will robotically affirm those things if it feels good to do so. I'm aware of it. It's always a good idea to robotically affirm towards your alignment. It can only help you. It can only serve your highest good. Those things compound and perpetuate more focus in that area. And the thing to remember is, remember that everything else that isn't alignment is neutral. And everything that is neutral does not need to be taken care of. There is no fixing that. There is only neutrality, which is clarity. It's clear. There's nothing that needs to be done. It's like a clean house. Clean homes don't need to be fixed, right? So there's only neutrality, and there's only positive robotic affirming or positive self-talk. Those are the only two options of what's going on. Anything that you perceive that isn't that is not something that you need to respond to or fall for. Let that land.